All right, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are right now. We are the Spirit Society of San Diego this beautiful Sunday. Glad that's not too hot, because it's been very hot here in San Diego. And we will start by reading The Happy Life by Givaldo Pereira Franco and the Spirit Joana de Angelis. And the message is, be open to new ideas. Discuss them, compare them with what you know and think. Get the most benefit possible out of information that is new to you. Healthy ideas renew the emotions and supply the feelings with stimuli and enthusiasm. Nobody's so wise that they do not need to learn more, or so complete that they can dispense with other contributions to their inner growth. So learn more and be receptive to new contributions. All about learning new things. Every day is a new opportunity to learn. So let's elevate our thoughts. Taking a deep breath. Trying to be here in the present, this moment. There's so much going on in our lives every day. So let's hit the pause button. As the message today is about learning new things, be open to learn new ideas, new information. Every reincarnation, every day is an opportunity to grow. So help us, dear Lord, to be humble and grow. So we ask the good spirits and all the ones that are here in the flesh, spiritual realm. We ask light, peace, understanding, as we are here together in this beautiful morning to nourish our spirit. May the light of Jesus surround each one of us. And all the ones that are at home right now or at work, whatever you are, feel the presence of the Christ within you, healing you, helping you, and bringing you joy too. Because Jesus is joy. Help us not only reach out for the Christ in the moments of pain, but in the moments of gratitude. And we are so grateful to be alive and be here. So help us this morning, inspiring us with the messages of today. In the name of the Christ, so be it. All right. So today is about the prodigal son. The spender. That's what prodigal is the spender. So many of you at home and here, we already heard that parable, that story. So my goal today is to bring up that story again, and we will focus on the characters and how the characters can relate to us. There are many different interpretations. So in order to do that, instead of me just telling the story, I have this friend of mine. She created this really nice video about the prodigal son, and if you want to show this to your children, this is really great. She is an artist, and she loves to tell stories, not only through drawings and creative ways. So I thought That would be very nice. It was in Portuguese, but she borrowed my voice, so we had this in English. Hello, friends. In Jesus' time, many women, children, and the needy wanted to meet Jesus because Jesus talked about the kingdom of heaven. But what is the kingdom of heaven? Jesus is smiling, told several stories. Let's hear a story. There was a man who had many lands, land everywhere, covered with flowers and fruits, flowers brightening up the entire garden. He had 2 sons, a young and an older one. One day, the younger son said to his father, "Father, I am so young and I want to enjoy life. Give me my share of the estate." So his father divided his property between the 2 sons. Not long after that, the younger son took a share of the inheritance, got together all he had, and set off for a distant country far, far away. When he got there, he squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country. He began to be in need and decided to leave to another land. In another country, he hired himself out to a citizen who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He was so hungry, longing to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating. But no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am, starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.'" So he got up and went to see his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his servants, "Quick, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate, for the son of mine was dead and he's alive again. He was lost and is found." So they began to celebrate. All right, so the video, it's really fun the way that she tells the story. She uses cups with the faces and she plays with the cups. And this is the older man, this is the father. So it's very creative, even for adults watching it. But she doesn't go through the older son, right? When he comes back and there is other party, like you two were, like you were saying, he was mad. And this is the part that he answered to his father. Look, this many years I have served you and I never disobey your command. Yet you never gave me a young goat that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, he doesn't even say my brother, when this son of yours came, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. How mad he is. Look at his face. And then the father said to him, son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad for this. Your brother was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found. So as we know the story, let's think about the characters, right? These are the three main characters. Because of the time, we just go a little faster. How do I relate to each one of them? What are the times that we're more like I just said, more like the father, more like the younger son, more like the older son? So let's start with the father. So beautifully, traditionally, the parable of the prodigal son has been one of the greatest sources of hope of mankind, for mankind. Jesus provides us with a metaphor for his father that stresses forgiveness and mercy. So no matter what we do, God is always with open arms, the Father helping us, forgiving. So we know that the Father represents God. But there is one thing that I would like to point it out, is the trust. The father in the story, he trusted to let go, that everything is going to be okay. Even though as a human being, he was upset, crying, and he missed his son, he trusted and said, okay, let it go, let it go. And how hard it is for us to have that trust. What is it that we are holding on? And the father let him go out of love. He trusts that he was not in charge. The father was not in charge. And we want to control the situations. We want to control the kids. We want to, I say the kids, when they are little, you have to. Their frontal cortex have not even developed till they are 26. But there are situations when they are much older that you have to trust and let go. And this is so hard. So when I think about the father, I think of a word, trust, the experience, whatever it is, and detachment. We are so attached to something. He was attached to his son, like loving his son, but he knew that was the best and there was nothing. And you see, the father also, he gave him half of his, what belonged to him financially, materially. He was not, no, it's mine, it's my money. And is this door closed? Okay. No, it's okay. Just close both doors and we are used to. So attachment. What are the things in our lives that we need to let go? So let's do that quick reflection. In Buddhism, they say that attachment is not to make us suffer. And then I did a really quick Google search. What are the things that holds us down? What are the things that we are so attached that is stopping us from growing. So the first one things that we saw is thoughts. Negative thoughts. Thoughts that, oh, I won't be able to do certain things, or what negative thoughts, whatever it is. That ruminating thoughts in your head. I was just telling my husband, I'm having some challenges at work, and it's hard. This is the weekend, and I'm supposed just to chill, relax, but then I go, but before I go to bed, that thought comes to my mind about work, about that employee, about something that's going on. Let go. Then we had beliefs. What are the beliefs that now no longer serve us? If you look at science, how many things changed? What is it that you used to believe? I have several friends, it's so funny, and I'm not criticizing, and I respect all the religions. I was raised Catholic, and I truly respect that. So much I learned from the Bible, from that. But I had several friends that we grew up at church, all like, I'm going to die and I'm going to go to hell or heaven. And now, half of my friends that went to church with me, now they are studying Spiritism. And they say, why is this? Because I don't think that is fair that I wind up in hell just because I made a mistake. I need some hope. Like, God is loving. So I see their change of their beliefs, because they're starting to understand a God that is not punishing. It's a loving, And they still go to church. And when I go to Brazil, last time I went to Brazil, I went to the Mass, because it's something that I really respect. And so just the belief of a father that will punish you when you go to hell, right? Does it make sense? This is the most, when you talk about attachment, and I'm not talking about the attachment in psychology. There is the healthy attachment. Children need that good attachment. It's relationships, and that unhealthy relationship. Somebody in your life that can stay in your heart but no longer in your life. What are the people that maybe it's not doing good for you? Are you feeling anxiety when you're hanging out with this person? Right? To what point we can help without hurting ourselves? So this says, be careful when you are too attached to the person. And with the spirit, when we learn the spirituality, we also know that so many people are attached to the ones when they die. Oh, my mom died, and so attached and crying, and that poor spirit doesn't have a break. And then comfort zone. You are attached to the way your life is. It's so convenient. I don't want to try anything new. I'm just stay here all day, or whatever you do. Or you hate your job, but okay, I'm just stay there in my comfort zone. And we all there. What are the things in your life that feel so comfortable, that's so attached, and you don't want to change? And a job, material things, it's my car, it's my house. It's mine. And in any moment, the father in the story of the Prodigal Son was attached. He was just like, go. Because I know, just like God, he knows. Imagine, I'm just being silly, God, the Father, no, Bernadette, I create you, but I love you so much, and then you stay here with me. Nope, you're not going to reincarnate. I don't want anything bad happen to you. I just want you here by my side. You are mine. No, he says, you want to grow, go. Learn, but if you fall, come back, I'm here. right? Habits. What are the habits? And a very strong one that I was reading is the past. Ooh, attached to the past. And it started with simple things like weight. Oh, I used to be so skinny. I used to be so young. You were attached. Oh, I'll save all my clothes now because I will lose weight and I'm going to wear all that. No, detach, go, give it. What are the things in the past? The way I have parents in the school, they say, I don't want to teach my child math because that's how I learned. And that's how I want it to be. But nowadays, the kids are learning a different way. They learn way faster than we do. So we had to adjust. What is it about our past that we're still holding on? So it's time to let go. And that's the father in the story, one of the interpretations. All right. So I thought this is a good, just to make you smile. Oh, master, is it proper for a monk to use email? Sure, as long as there are no attachments. Just to make us smile a bit. And detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you. It starts changing. You know, if I love this book, that's my book. But what happens if I lose? I have this student, he's 4, and he has serious attachment problems, not very healthy with the family, and he goes to school with his security blanket. He can only be in school if he's all the time holding. So, and it's the cutest little thing, and now we are working with him to feel safe. So now I was able to, when he sits on the carpet, he can leave the blanket on the table, which is amazing. And he's like, he looks all the time, is it there? Is it there? And if he's having a moment, he hugs, and he's all day smelling the blanket, and it's there. So it was a good thing that on the table. So that's it. Detachment. Let's go to the next one. Just 3. The young son. He represents passion, pleasure, instinct, adventure, and lacks of moderation. And everything else you can interpret. This is just one thing. And what I want to point it out here, the same way that I pointed out in trust and detachment, I want to point it out the moderation. What are the things that we are lacking moderation? I was just joking with the cake. What is this thing that we know that's affecting our health, our life? So Aristotle, the virtue of justice consists in moderation. So he sees that moderation is a virtue. And it is a conflict between desire and knowing what is best. It's I want versus I know. What is it that I want? But I know it's not good for me if it is too much. Right? So this is my suggestion. When I think of the older son, all the pleasures in life, all the things in the material world, is that okay to have fun? Yeah. Is it okay to travel? He traveled. But be careful. Moderation and knowing what's right or wrong. How is this affecting my life? What are things in our life that we need to stop and think? And then the last son, the good son, right? He stayed at home, he had balance, he pleased the father, he had moderation with his life. But he did all this out of his heart, out of love? So the elder son has spent his life striving to earn the father's love. Yet the father's indulgent welcome to the younger son disrupts everything the older son thought he understood about love and acceptance. Actually, it was a good thing that the younger son did that, because it shook him. Everything that he thought it was right. I'm doing everything that's right. I'm following everything. And his mind went, this is crazy. No, that's not the right way. I am the good one. I do the right things. Imagine. And this happens to us. We think that we are in the right, path doing things, and suddenly comes this wave, this truck, and hits us. You go, it's time to change my thinking. It's time to reflect about my life. And what does he represents? He refused to join the party. I see him like a little kid tantrum. No, I will not join the party. So he was loyal to the father, but respecting everything in return, something in return. He wants the father to satisfy his wish and agree with him. He was being selfish. So the older son represents a lot of people nowadays. They please others in the society, but not with awareness, just because I have to. Hide or repress their wishes or passion. He had all these wishes inside him. Even though he was acting the way the father wanted, look at his eyes here. I was looking for his like he was plotting. There was something in my mind. So he was not doing this out of love because he wants something in return. And if you read the Old Testament, if you ever read it, there's so many stories like jealousy, envy. There's a lot of killing too in the Old Testament. Oh my goodness. It's like at the Testament, if you is gonna, twist and squeeze the thing, it's just a lot of blood. But in a very metaphorical way too. We have to be careful not to take everything literally, because there is a lot of lessons. So almost there. He is not happy for others. He was not happy for his brother. And he wanted, as it represents people that wants God to fulfill our wishes. Hey, God, I want a new house. God, I want this. I want that. So he was jealous, envy, and lacks that generosity. So before we end, think about this. There are times in the past, or now, or could be in the future, that we just act like the older brother. And why we were talking, so you are a human being. We are not judging. That you may feel jealous when you see somebody doing something that, I wish I could go. And in social media, we see all this, and at times we just can't help it. Just feel like him. Or we have our tantrum. We're not happy for somebody. Or we are temporarily happy, but why not me? Why not me? I deserve that. I do everything right. And then that person gets the promotion? And then that person gets the raise? No. What about me? I've been here working so hard, doing everything. Is it the work of the family or with the child? So again, not judging. And what if once in a while we got caught, we see ourselves acting like this? Oh, bad Bernadette. No, I'm a human being. All right, Lord, help me. Help me to be more towards you, because like the Father, I can always come back. And the last one. I love this. We don't learn from the experience. but from reflecting. If I don't understand, so okay, if I'm walking here, my experience, and I kick and I get hurt, and all I do, I cry, but I don't move the chair. Yeah, I remember the experience of pain, but if I don't reflect, okay, why? Why did I get hurt? I was not looking. I was in a hurry. The chair was on the way. Oh, now I learn and I reflect about it. So now I'm going to move the chair. I'm going to pay attention. And the last reflections are, which of the sons do we identify the most? Or do we have a little bit of each? Right? There are days that I'm just like the older son. There are days that I'm just like the younger son. I want more pleasure. Out of control. Woo! We are also the prodigal son in every reincarnation, going through experience that one day returning to a spiritual home. And this parable represents a trajectory of all of us, sometimes acting like prodigals, sometimes like dedicated servants only in appearance. So let's just reflect about this and see how we can put this in our lives, right? And trust. If everything that you learned today, that you heard today, if we holding to trust and letting go things that don't serve us anymore, that's it. It's already a good message. All right.